Get ready with me while I tell a story time on how we're basically getting kicked out of our house. Backstory, I lived in this house since I was a baby. Like, I've never once moved. Neither have my parents. They've lived here for 18 years, and, like, they bought this house when it was getting built. So, like, no one else has lived in this house. So, fast forward to when I was in my sophomore year of high school, which was last year, and I was getting, like, hardcore bullied. It was affecting me a lot. So, my parents, like, looked into school transfers and homeschooling programs and all this stuff, but none of it was, like, working out. And then here comes along the idea of moving to Oklahoma. So my dad's work had this amazing job opportunity for him in Oklahoma. So we just started rolling, like, kept the ball rolling. Like, I flew out there, I think, twice, one for cheer tryouts and one for touring the private Christian school that I got enrolled into. I met some amazing girls that literally cheered me up and made me believe that I had, like, a future outside of the kids that were bullying me. And they were just, like, the most loving girls I've ever met, and they literally saved me. But, like, they don't know that. Anyways, I flew out there, and when I flew out there, I got to hang out with them a few times, so that was fun. My parents ended up buying a house and all this stuff, and selling this house was so hard for them because this has been all they've known, their whole entire marriage, basically, and this is just our norm. It's where our family is. We have no family in Oklahoma. They're all in this hometown that we are in. And it's just such a hard thing for them to do. So it took, like, a lot of courage from them, but they believed that it was the right thing to do. Like, it's what God wanted us to do and all this stuff. So they put the house on the market. Within the first, like, 2 or 3 days, we had really good offers, which was kind of sad. If you saw my other video that I posted, like, yesterday, I think, about my backyard, like, you'll understand. My house is literally amazing. So I don't blame them for putting an offer on our house, but it gets worse. The whole process was going really smoothly for the house sell and the house buy in Oklahoma. So one lovely evening, my dad gets a call saying that they can no longer transfer my dad, and now our options are me and my mom and my sister move to Oklahoma without my dad, and he travels for work from Oklahoma to California. We cancel the move in total, or my dad moves out there with us, but he just doesn't have a job until he finds one. We were in this predicament for at least a month and a half. It was so traumatizing. We end up canceling the Oklahoma move. But now our problem is that we don't have a house in California anymore because we sold it. So then we're like, why don't we just go? We can still see our dad just, like, once every month, and, like, let's just freak it, we ball. So we started the whole process back up again, and yeah. Oh, and in between that, when we canceled it, we sent a letter to the buyers of our house, basically asking for a house back, saying, like, because we were already under contract, so if we, like, got out, we could get sued or something. So we sent the letter, and they were biatches about it. Basically saying, like, you guys put this house on the market, like, we're gonna buy it, like, we don't care, like, anything, like, which honestly, like, I don't blame them. Like, if I found my dream house, like, I don't know if I would let the buyers or the sellers back into their house. But, like, considering our circumstances that, like, I would have to move across the country without my dad, like, that was horrible. Considering we didn't know anyone out there other than the one family that I met from, like, my friend's family, it was so hard. My parents literally begged them, but they wouldn't let us out. And at this time, my mom was, like, terrified to move across the country without my dad. Like, I would be too. Like, I don't even blame her at this point. So, once again, we cancel everything again. And my mom basically was like, I can't do this. I can't move across the country without my husband and, like, all this stuff. So, my dad's like, yeah, I'm not going to force you to move out there, like, without me. Like, I'd feel so unsafe if I was you. During this time, where we're trying to find a house back still here in California, my parents are still trying to get our house back. But obviously they signed the contract, so it was nearly, like, impossible. So they're looking for houses, like, in our town, still close to our family and everything like that. And we can't find literally anything. And at this point, our money is kind of out the drain because we spent so much on, like, flight tickets and the house in Oklahoma and my school tuition at a private Christian school. Like, it was a lot. So my parents were kind of looking for not a downgrade, but a cheaper house because at this point we were just kind of sunk. And the only house that would fit our family of 6 is a new construction home that's just been built, which would probably put us in a worse money situation, but I don't know. And now, in 5 days, we are moving into that brand new construction that brand new construction house 2 minutes away from this house. So what did we learn throughout this whole little journey of ours? You know what? I don't really know. Oh, what I've learned is to suck it up from bullying and not try to find a way out. Anyways, well, that's kind of my life story for the past year and a half. And now I'm finally excited just to be settled in a home and not have to worry about moving across the country. So, yeah, guys, thanks for watching.
Okay, I need you guys to tell me if I'm in the wrong or not. So basically, I've known this group of girls for like a couple years, like probably since like 2022 or 2023, somewhere like around there. This spring, I guess last spring, I got particularly close with someone in that friend group named, we're just gonna call her like Girl A. Me and Girl A would hang out like every single day. We would do everything together, and we would usually like after that we would go hang out with the rest of the girls in her friend group as well. So I ended up getting pretty close with them too. But whenever me and Girl A would hang out, like without them, she would just be like talking bad about them the whole time. Like she would be like, their souls are black holes, like their daddy's money, like da-da-da, they think they're better than everyone, they're not nice girls, like this, that, and the other. And that was the only perspective I was getting at the time, so obviously I was kind of like, oh, I'm so sorry, like that's terrible. I wouldn't really like contribute, but I would like, you know. So I started getting a lot closer with the girls in that friend group, and I realized, oh, these are like actually really sweet girls. They're not like at all what Girl A says they are. Sorry, this braid is just like so stupid. It's not complying. So I started hanging out with her friends more. Like she would still be there, but like we all started hanging out as a group more, and they started like inviting me to more stuff, you know? Girl A didn't like that they were inviting me to stuff, and even though she was invited as well. Girl A started like talking bad about me, like dogging on my relationship with my parents, like dogging on the fact that I didn't have a car, dogging on the fact that I'm stupid and I'm gonna go nowhere in life and I think I'm better than everyone, like just stuff like that. I knew about it. I just like didn't do anything because I really didn't have any other friends due to the fact that I had switched schools like that year. So Girl A started being like significantly more mean to me and like just like dogging on everything I do, like to my face even, like trying to make me feel stupid, like saying backhanded things about how I'm dumb, and I would like laugh along with it. I was like, oh yeah, I'm so stupid. Yeah, I know I'm not stupid. I'm leaving, this braid is also stupid. I'm leaving like a lot out. Like she's cussed me out multiple times. Like one time I did do something bad. Like I went to go hang out with Girl B without her when I was supposed to do something with her, but that's because she had talked bad about me the day before. I'm trying like really hard not to tell the story like in a biased way because like I genuinely don't know if I'm in the wrong. So fast forward to now, I got a car. I moved to where Girl B is going to school. So me and Girl B see each other almost every day, and Girl A hates it. Like, even though we invite Girl A every single time, we don't try to leave her out. Like, when we were in the mall, we were walking, and she kept, like, trailing behind, and I was like, Girl A, like, walk with us. Like, what's wrong? Like, you know? So, basically, I texted Girl A last night, and I was like, hey, you have one of my E. Newton necklaces and one of my Aerie button-up sweatshirts. Do you mind if I swing by tonight and come grab it? And she was like, no, I'll just give it to Girl B because I know you'll be seeing her soon, or something like that. And I was like, is something, like, wrong? And she was like, nope. So I hearted the message, and after I hearted it, she texted me, and she goes, you want to know what I really regret? It's kind of funny, actually. And I was like, I think I have an idea, but, like, why keep being friends with me if you regret it so much? Like, mind you, all I've ever tried, like, I always apologize to her. Like, I've never said what's on my mind ever to her. Like, I've literally never stuck up to her when she's, like, ever. Like, I've never. So I texted her back, and I was like, I think I have an idea, but, like, why not just stop being friends with me if you, like, regret it that much? And she was like, that's not it. I regret introducing you to my friends. And then sent me this whole paragraph on how I'm a backstabbing bitch, and I stole all of her friends, and I took her role in the friend group, and this, that, and the other. Whole time, it's like, I'm just getting invited to stuff. I've never tried to leave her out. Like, I don't. So I texted her, and I was like, man, I just be getting invited to stuff. Like, You're just really mopey and negative all the time and always have to be talking bad about someone, this, that, and the other. I low-key wasn't really nice in the messages. I was actually, like, really mean, but I don't regret it because, like, she's always really mean to me. So she responded to, like, everything that I said, and then, she just said okay, and then unadded me. And I blocked her because I don't ever want to be friends with her again. But am I in the wrong? Like, does it sound like I've actually stolen all of her friends? Like, I don't know.
I don't want to get sued, so I'm just going to say allegedly, but holy shit, you guys. I don't know if you guys are on UK TikTok like I am, but in Scotland, there's this girl named Kira, and she was dating her boyfriend for a month before she found out that she was pregnant. Anyway, they had like the gender reveal, baby shower, all of the events you have leading up to giving birth to your child. They found out that they were going to have a daughter. Friends and family were buying expensive gifts. I think the mum bought her like a $2,000 pram. I think it was like £1,000, which rounds up to 2,000 here. So she gives birth, and at this point, I think her and the baby daddy are no longer together. So she gives birth alone, by herself. She's by herself. Which, red flags, because you just think, okay, like, who the hell gives birth by themselves? Like, obviously, she must have a supportive family because her family's buying her a $2,000 pram. So, like, as if one member of her family would not be there for the birth. So she had the baby, and everyone was then like, oh my God, your child is so well behaved. Like, she never cries. I've never heard her cry, etc. She was sending videos of the baby moving. And then apparently if like people were asking to hold the baby, she'd say absolutely not. Someone, I think it was the boyfriend's or the ex-boyfriend's mum, was trying to touch the baby, like her grandchild. And she just the mum quickly grabbed the kid and was like, absolutely not. And everyone at this point just thought, oh, she's overprotective about her child just because she had a lot of complications with pregnancy. It's her first child. Like, you know how first time mums can be. Well, I don't because I've never had a kid, but I can only imagine. So it's come out now that this child is one of those realistic reborn dolls. This woman was carrying in her car seat, in her pram, all around Scotland, by the sounds of it, her reborn doll. It has come out that she was never pregnant. She faked the pregnancy. And you know what she did? Before she gave birth to her daughter, she came out and said that her child was going to be born with holes in her heart. And everyone was freaking out. They were like, oh my God, like if you want money, if you want us to do anything, just please let us know. And turns out that she works with someone whose son has holes in his heart. So she was getting all this info from the guy that she works with, even texting the guy's wife going like, how did you guys deal with it, etc., playing it off as though her daughter is going to be born with the same condition. And yeah, she's faked this I can't say it, but I'm just going to say the word that I absolutely hate. Basically, she said that her daughter has now been unalived due to the holes in her heart. I've heard about people in the past faking pregnancies, not like people in my real life, but just like on the internet, true crime stories, etc. But I have honestly never heard of someone buying a realistic reborn doll and pretending that they gave birth to that doll and is pretending that the doll is in fact a real child. My only question is, what were you going to do once the child was growing up? Also as well, she would have obviously fake pregnancy bumps under her clothing, and she apparently had a lot of them because obviously once time goes on, you get bigger and bigger. So she had different sizes, which is giving like Glee season 1 flashbacks when Will Schuster's wife was pretending to be pregnant. A lot of her friends have come out with videos saying, hey, like this is what's happened. And a lot of the comments are like, well, as if you couldn't tell that that was a doll. Like I can tell by just looking at the photos. And a lot of her friends have been saying like, look, you weren't there, you don't understand. And I sort of agree because listen, if one of my friends came out and said like, oh, I'm pregnant and then did this shit, if I met the baby for the first time and she goes, oh, she's sleeping, like please don't disturb her, you can look at her from afar, I would not be thinking, oh, that's a reborn doll. I'd be thinking, oh my God, the baby is sleeping. Because I would think to myself, my friends would never do something like this. Like this is actually insane. Now it gets a little bit crazier. So One of her friends is now claiming that her mum knew about it, which makes a lot of sense because, listen, if you're supportive of your daughter having a child and you find out that no one is going to be at the birth, as if you're going to be like to her, all right, you just go give birth. You go give birth right now. I'm not going to be there either, but you go give birth. Absolutely not. If you and your mum have a great relationship and your mother is supportive of you having a child, obviously your mum's going to be there for the birth. Anyway, also as well, it is alleged that she actually made up a pregnancy a couple years back as well, but it wasn't as severe as it was this time around because she only, I think, told like a couple people that she gave birth, but it was a couple people that lived far away. So like she'd only send photos of her baby to these people, but it was like someone else's child on the internet or something. She has also allegedly in the past lied about having the big C as well. So, yeah, this is crazy. This is honestly insane. And, like, honestly, my heart goes out to everyone that was involved who, like, found out, like, friends, the baby daddy, like, everyone. The baby daddy was not in on it either. They broke up when she was pregnant and she was like, you're not allowed to see the kid, you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do that. And then she texted him saying, hey, like, our child is unalived now, but you can't go see her. You have to wait for me to give you more information. Like, this is crazy. If you guys just search her name on TikTok, you will find her immediately. Like, not her account, but friends who have posted about her. But the whole situation, like, I just could not believe it. I do feel really bad for the friends because I know for myself, if this ever happened to me, like, I would just be thinking, okay, like, I was a fool for believing her. But also as well, I'd be like, bitch, I want all my money back. I want all my presents that I gave for your kid, your doll, and I want to return them because there is no way you're keeping any of it. You know, like, obviously here in Melbourne, we had Belle Gibson lying about having the big C, and that was insane. But now, like, this girl lied about not only the big C, but having a kid and had, like, a doll prancing around in her pram and everything. Anyway, you guys, if you have not heard about this, please look it up. I want to discuss it because this is crazy. Anyway, have a great day.
Story time of probably one of the worst things I've ever done in my life, where me and my friends got stuck in the Moly Ocean on a boat and had to get saved by two random guys on jet skis. Just talking about it gives me chills because I just want to trauma block it out. Anyways, it all started freshman year spring break. I took two of my best friends to my grandma's Florida house in Naples. And I have cousins down there who actually, like, live there, so they have a house and everything, and they have all these, like, boats, jet skis, scooter things. And there's a cousin who's my age, and he's a boy, and so obviously we were like, we want to go hang out with him and his friends. And the first thing my grandma says was, that's okay, but, like, don't go on his boat, his jet, none of his, like, mobiles, because, like, I don't trust that. Like, I don't trust freshman guys driving you around. And it was very convenient for us to hang out with him because he lived in the same neighborhood as my grandma, and they're, like, on the water. So obviously they have all these cool stuff, and we're like, oh, we want to go on it. So, but we told my grandma, I was like, oh no, we won't get on any of that stuff. I'm surprised she believed us. So we walk our way on over to his house, and there's, like, it's me, my cousin, two of his friends, and two of my friends. And we were like, let's go on a boat because we're on the water. And we thought we were going to be getting into my cousin's boat, but we're actually getting into his friends who we don't know, into his boat, which is, like, a little smaller. So we're in the boat having a grand old time, and they're like, where do you guys want to go? And us 14-year-old girls, whose frontal lobes obviously weren't developed, were like, oh my god, like, we should drive to Marco Island, which is, like, 30 minutes away in the car. So obviously I think it's longer, like, way longer by boat. We were like, we have a friend there right now and we want to go see her, like, take us to Marco Island. Also, we had dinner that night with my grandma, with everyone there, because my family was also, like, in the house with my grandma. We had dinner that night in probably 2 hours. And if it takes 30 minutes to get there by car, I don't get it. And the guys were like, oh, of course we'll take you to see your friend. Like, we love Marco Island. And so we start driving there, and I'm a little iffy. Like, I'm like, wait, maybe we shouldn't be doing this because I'm, like, kind of a goody two-shoes. Like, I don't like getting in trouble. But, like, honestly valid because we were staying at my grandma's house, and she had specifically told us not to even be on the boat. And I was like, I don't want to disrespect her and, like, her get mad at us. I don't know, I was freaking out. But internally, because I was like, I have to be cool. Like, I have to be cool. Like, yes, Marco Island. So all is going well. We even stopped at, like, a little island to go swimming, and we were tanning, and we were getting along with the guys. Like, it was fun. I mean, it was, like, a little awkward because we didn't really know them when we were awkward freshmen, but it was fine. And then we actually start, like, making our way over to Marco Island, and all is going well for probably about, like, 10 minutes, and then this little boat hits a sandbar. And the guy whose boat it was like, oh my god, no. Like, this happens all the time. Like, I just have to get out and push it. And we were like, okay. So we're sitting in the boat. He gets out. He pushes it. Gets off the sandbar. And everything's fine. And we're like, oh, great. That was easy. And then probably 5 minutes goes by. Maybe 10. And he hits another one. And we're like, oh, okay. Like, maybe he'll just get out and push it again. I don't remember exactly if he successfully got off of this one, but then we hit another one, or if it was this one that we hit where everything started to go downhill, but we hit a sandbar again, and he gets out to try and push it, and it's like not moving. So he, like, gets back into the boat, and he's like, like, literally, like, trying to start the motor, and the motor's, like, filling up with, or, like, sinking. Like, the motor is filling up with water, and we're, like, sinking in the middle of the ocean. Anyway, he's, like, calling his dad, trying to be like, he's like, oh, this happens all the time. Like, I just have to call my dad, and, like, he'll tell me what to do with the motor. So, like, me and my friends are sitting in the boat, and we're like, what is going on? And then I get a call from my older sister, and she's like, babe, where are you? Like, you've been gone for a couple hours. Like, we have dinner soon. And I was like, oh, like, no, like, nothing. Like, we're, like, in his boat, but, like, we're totally fine. Just, like, don't tell our grandma. And she was like, okay, like, just as long as you're home for dinner, like, I won't say anything. And in the background, she can probably hear the motor being, like, vroom, and, like, breaking. And I was like, no, like, we're totally good. We'll be back before dinner. I don't know how I kept it together on that call, but we were sitting on that sandbar for probably around 20 minutes, not getting anywhere. And I'm looking at our phone. We have dinner in, like, 20 minutes. And we're literally, like, 15 minutes away from his house. And I was like, okay, so the math isn't mathing. We're not going to be back on time. We are not going to be back on time, if we can even get the boat to start working. And then I remember my sister texting me a picture of my location, and we're literally in the middle of the ocean, and she's like, get back now. You are so stupid. I have no idea what you're doing. You're not going to make it back in time. Like, you guys are literally going to be sent home. Like, our grandma is going to be like, you guys need to go home. And this is when I start crying. Like, this is when it all goes downhill, because I'm like, we are going to be in so much trouble. We're literally going to get sent. Like, my grandma was nice enough to let us come, and we did the one thing she tells us not to do, and now we're in this situation. So anyways, I'm crying, and obviously the guys are like, okay, like, we need to get you guys home in time for dinner. And their grand idea was to call up their friends who have jet skis, and they were like, yo, you need to send over some rescue jet skis. Like, we need you stat. And I'm like, oh, like, jet skis, like, okay. I was literally pleading with them. I was like, whatever you can do to get us home. Like, if you have to drop us off, and we will run back home, which obviously that wouldn't have worked. But I was like, I will genuinely walk back. Like, swim to shore and walk back. But obviously that was not a good idea. So, rescue jet skis it was. It probably took around, I don't know fast they were, but probably like 10 minutes to get to us. And they pull up, and there's 2 jet skis. Like, one guy on a jet ski and another guy on a jet ski. And the first guy who pulled up was like, I only have room for one person. So I hopped on because I was like, I feel like I need to get home first. Like, you guys can't walk into my grandma's house first and be like, hey, like, Bennett's not here. So I hop on the jet ski, and I'm like, whatever you have to do to get me home in literally 5 minutes, do it. So obviously he's like full speed. I don't even remember this guy's name, but I am on, like, holding him as tight as I can, and we are like booking it. And I'm sure the guys who were driving us in the boat were like, what are these girls' issues? Like, they took us this far out, and now they have to go back. Like, they're so annoying. Anyways, I'm on the jet ski. We're going, like, what feels like 100 miles an hour. And I feel my phone in my pocket start vibrating. And I was like, somebody's calling me. I get it. It's my sister again. I pick it up. Meanwhile, we're still going, like, 80 miles an hour. So I'm, like, holding on to this guy with one arm on the phone with my sister, and she's screaming at me. And now I'm sobbing in this guy's arms, practically, who has no idea who I am. She was basically saying, you're not going to make it on time. Like, this is so embarrassing. Like, you're so bad for doing this. Like, Grandma literally told us not to do that. And you did it. And now you're gonna prove her why. Basically, like, if you're not back in time for dinner, like, you're literally dead. And dinner was in, like, 5 minutes. I remember going so fast on the jet ski that my hat flew off. A new gift that my grandma had got me. Like, I was wearing the hat. Like, she had given it to me that day, and I wore it, and it flew off in the ocean. And I was like, great. And I lost my grandma's hat. But actually, my friends in the jet ski behind me swooped and picked it up. So that was, like, good. By the power of God, I don't know what happened, but we make it back to his house maybe like 2 minutes after we were supposed to be leaving for dinner, and my friends pull up a little after with my hat, thank God. And I'm a mess. I'm sobbing. My friends are like, what is your issue? And I'm with these guys who had just literally rescued us, sobbing, being like, all right, thanks for the ride. Now we have to run back home. Like, I think I genuinely Irish goodbye'd them. Like, he pulled up to the dock. I probably jumped 8 feet from the dock. And I was like, thanks. Like, do you want to, like, thanks. We had also just left my cousin and his friends on the boat. Like, we were like, you guys figure it out. We have to go. Also, I forgot to mention, when the boat was, like, literally sinking, they were like, all right, you guys might have to get out of the boat because, like, it's sinking and we need to push it off. And we were like, oh. Oh, okay. Like, in the middle of the ocean? How about no? Anyways, when we made it back to the dock, we literally sprinted home, which took 2 minutes with how fast we were running. Walked into the house, they had not left yet. Like, they were running late. Like, my family was running late to dinner. And we walked in and we were like, hey guys, we're back. We'll just take 5 minutes to change really quickly. Nobody said anything. Like, nobody said anything. Then we're back downstairs 5 minutes later, ready to go to dinner. Like, nothing ever happened. Like, we weren't just lost at sea. And, like, we're at dinner, and my sister's looking at me like this, because she knows exactly what just happened, but none of us said anything. So, yeah, we were proud of ourselves, because my grandma is not one to be messed with, and we were like, we got away with it, let's go. Come to find out, like, 2 years later, she knew the entire time. She knew the entire story. She just chose not to say anything, because she was probably like, you embarrassed yourself enough. Anyways, you'll never catch me on a boat from Naples to Marco Island ever again. I really took the whole 10 minutes to tell this story, but yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that. But that's all. Bye.
Get ready with me while I tell you about my insane freshman year suite mate. So I filmed some of this and it literally cut out the audio completely, so we're just going to start from where I am now. So just a preface, I had a room completely by myself. I had no roommate, just the suite mate. Also, another thing to preface, I'm in a singing traveling ensemble that travels every single weekend. This weekend, I was going to be in Texas. Now, we got back from Texas at 3 a.m. and I had a theory exam at 8. So you best believe I got home and I went to sleep. And I woke up saying, I'm not going to get all cute. I'm literally going to an 8 a.m. theory exam. Why would I do that? So this morning, I decided to wear a sweatshirt that I literally haven't worn in forever and these sweatpants that I wore on Friday, the day that I left. So I go in the closet looking for that sweatshirt, like, oh, it's gonna be in here because I literally haven't worn it in forever. Nowhere to be found. I literally can't find it. And I live in the town where my college is, so I'm like, I probably just took it home and washed it or something. Or my best friend took it and wore it while I was gone. That's fine, whatever, she does it all the time. So I grab another sweatshirt and I'm like, it's fine, I'll wear a different sweatshirt, whatever. Then I go to look for the sweatpants I wore on Friday, remember? On Friday, the day that I left. And what do I not see? If you guessed the sweatpants, you're right. At this point, I'm just really confused. So I text my best friend and I'm like, hey, did you wear my sweatpants? Because, like, they were in here on Friday and they're not now. And she said, no, I didn't. I haven't seen them, I haven't worn them. And I really don't have time to deal with this at this point, so I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna go. I'm going to class. I get up, I take my exam, everything is fine, then I go to lunch. And I am just puzzled. I could not think of one place where these things could be. And one of my friends at lunch is like, what if someone took them? This had not played in my head just because, like, I don't know, it's just not something that I would assume would happen. I attend a Christian university, so, like, I would assume everyone's Christian. My bad for assuming. I'm sorry. Okay, that was a little shady. You can be Christian and mess up. Anyway, so someone starts asking me, where have you checked? They say, you need to check Ellie's room, you need to check your house, you need to check everywhere. Have you checked your suite mate's room? And I was like, no, like, I don't really know them. I don't know about that. And they said, you might as well just check. Like, just check. So I go back and I'm like, okay, let me just knock on their door. Let me just see.
I knock and no one answers. And maybe this is where I should have stopped, but I didn't, and thank God. So I open the door, just open it, that's all I do. And what do I see on the ground? Take a guess. Take a little guess. Yeah, go ahead. The sweatshirt that I was gonna wear. So of course I walk into the room and I'm like, let me just make sure that this is mine, because what if it's hers? What if she has the same sweatshirt? It was mine. It was mine, and let me tell you how I know. I used to be a little bit of a bigger girl, and so all of the clothes that I wore were like large, extra large. And this girl is not an extra large at all. She's like my size now or smaller. And the sweatshirt's an extra large, which I know people buy things oversized, but I just knew in my heart, this is my sweatshirt. And when I pick up the sweatshirt, which I had already done at this point, but I noticed something that fell. Okay, I know we've been playing a guessing game this whole time, but you guys aren't gonna guess. You're not gonna guess what fell when I picked up the sweatshirt. Clothes I didn't know were missing. Now I'm livid. I'm done. Like, I start kind of going crazy. I open her closet, and what's in there? Literally all of my clothes. All of them hung up. Clothes upon clothes that were mine that are hung up in her closet. So what do but lock the door and start going through her everything. I go through every drawer. I go through every single dirty clothes pile, whatever it is. I go through all of her clothes and find everything that is mine. And I take it all and I put it in my room and I just take a shower because I need to decompress. And I fear I have to go, and I know that people hate this, but I have to do a part 2. There's way too much to the story to fit it in one video, so just hang on tight. There will be a part 2. Don't fret.
Get ready with me while I talk about these 4 psycho guys who go to a private school, an all-boys private school, and they were just messing with me the entire time. So basically, I went on my quick ad, and there was this one guy on there, and his public profile, he looked fine. He was fine. So I was like, okay, but I always look them up on Instagram to make sure they're like actually someone, like before I go, like before I add them back. So he's an actual guy, and he goes to a private school in the state next to me. I'll just say it, in Delaware. And I know the private school. My dad used to go there, so I was like, it's fine, we're good. He's an actual person, so I add him back like any girl would with a fine man. So me and this guy, we start texting, and he's like, you're so pretty, and I'm like, thank you, and like we're just talking about where I go to school, and he's like, when am I gonna see you? Like any boy off quick ad is, because he's a boy off quick ad. So I used to have a really deep summer fling with like, and it's now like October, but I used to have a really deep summer fling, like all 3 months, with this one guy who went to his school. So I like texted him and I wanted to make him jealous. I was like, do you know of blah, blah, blah? And he was like, yeah. I was like, is he a good guy? And he was like, no, stay away from him. Don't do it. And I was like, mission accomplished. I made him jealous. Perfect. I should have known better than this guy would just be jealous out of jealousy, because this guy has had my back no matter what. So I should have listened to him, but I didn't. I thought that he was just jealous and just wanted me all to himself. So that was not the case. Me and this guy, we keep texting, and it's good, and he's nice, and he like listens to me, and I really don't let my guard down that much. But I was like talking to him about some of my biggest problems with like my sport and everything, and he was listening, and he was like, thank you so much for telling me this. I love how you feel like you can tell me this. And I was like, thank you. Like, I actually, yes. He even calls me one night, and we're just like talking, and he called me out of nowhere. And this boy, he has 5 siblings, like 4 sisters and like 1 brother, and I'm like, oh my god, I love boys with sisters because they're just so respectful. And I was like, and this is perfect, and like, yes. I told all my friends about him. I was like, look, I'm like talking to this new guy. He's so sweet. Like, look at him. He literally looks like a god. Like, he's so fine. I'm like, how is this guy still talking to me? So I'm actually going to their homecoming with another guy that goes there, but it's strictly just friends. We're just friends, and I even told the guy that, and he was like, it's fine, because he had a homecoming date who was strictly just friends too. And I was like, perfect, like, this is great. So I'll see you at your homecoming. Also, the reason that I'm going to the homecoming is because that it's all boys private school, so they need a date. It's not like, well, he can just not take you. No, like, he needs a date, so I'm just going. Anyway, flash forward, me and my friend are like, why don't we go to their football game, which is 40 minutes away, but we were like, why don't we go, like, we have nothing else to do on a Friday night, like, our team is away, so why don't we just go to their football game? And so we did, and I met this guy. He was really nice. He was honestly really nice, and I realized he was showing me his Instagram. We were talking. We were like, what do you like to do? He was showing me his Instagram. I was like, you follow me. He followed me like 2 days before that. He was like, I do? I was like, yes, you do. And he was like, I'm like a Doom follower. Like, it's fine. Like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I have you on Snapchat. And I did. And I was like, that's so crazy. I was like, how did I, like, because we would just snap and, like, I don't know. I was like, no way I have you on Snapchat. That's so weird. Like, how do we just meet, like, and not know? So we're talking the rest of the night. And what about his ex? I'm literally giving him advice on how to get his ex back. That's what I'm doing. Nothing weird. He's just so sweet, and I wanted to help him out. He wanted to get his ex back, so I was helping him because out of a girl's perspective, I just wanted to help him. So nothing happens, and he was like, thanks for the advice. Like, I leave because it's a 40 freaking minute drive. I'm like, yeah, of course. Like, no problem. Always here to help because you're really sweet, and I want to help you. Yeah, that's just who I am. Now back to the other guy. Me and him are still texting. He was like, why don't you answer me? Because I, like, kind of left him undelivered a little bit. And I was like, I don't see you on my Snap. And he was like, I'm not pinned. You're pinned. And he's number 1 on my best friends list. Just put it out there. Just from texting him. So, fuck. He's like, I'm not pinned. So I pinned him. And I was like, okay, maybe this guy actually wants to get serious. Like, he actually likes me. Anyway, time goes on. And me and this guy, we're still talking. But the other guy is texting me. And it's strictly just funny. Like, I'm a little flirtatious. And I was like, he played guitar. And I, like, sent him a snap. I was like, you have to teach me how to play guitar. Like, that's so cool. Like, you're so talented. Me and the other guy were still snapping. And late one night, he gets a little, and sends me some, and I was just kind of like, oh, okay. And he's like begging me to send him something. I'm like, you need to chill. Like, I don't know you like that. We've never even hung out in person. So we make a plan. He was like, let's hang out this Sunday because it was my Hoka weekend. And I was like, okay, yeah, let's do Sunday. Like, I really like you. Let's hang out. Biggest fucking mistake of my life. I get this quick ad from a guy from the same school. I add him back. You're really pretty. What are you doing this weekend? Sorry, it's my homecoming weekend. Well, what about Sunday? I'm already hanging out with someone. Sorry. Come on, please, ditch this guy. Ditch this guy for me. We can hang out. We can get to know each other. No, thank you. I'm okay with this guy. Guy from football game texts me. And he's like, what are you doing this weekend? I was like, it's my homecoming weekend. And he was like, well, what are you doing Sunday? I was like, I'm busy. Sorry. All these guys from the same school are asking me to hang out this weekend. And I already agreed to hang out with someone, so I get a text from the one guy who I had a summer fling with, and he was like, I blocked him, actually, and his friend is begging me to add him back. Begging. I kept saying no. I said, no, I'm mad at him. No, I'm mad at him. No, 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 no. He texted me off of messages, like, got my number. It was, like, maybe the guy's name. And he was like, I really need to talk to you. Like, I need to help you because I care about you. He sends me a picture of all these guys in one picture. And he was like, do you know these guys? And I was like,
yeah. I was like, that's blah, 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 that's blah, 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 that's blah, 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 and that's blah, blah, blah. Like, I know them. They were trying to hang out with me. And he was like, you need to block them all right now. And he sends me the video of me asking the one guy to help me play guitar. How did you get that? They have freaking double screen, all of them. All of my snaps that they saved, they all have them, and they're all going around the whole freaking school. And like, what? I can't do anything. It was just like a mirror picture of me, and they were acting like it's the worst thing in the world. Bra and everything, like shirt and everything, and they're acting like it's the worst thing in the world. It's like going around the whole school. Anyway, back to this one guy, and he's like, you need to block all of them right now. They are planning on doing something to you at homecoming. And I was like, what? He was like, once you get in, you can't get out. And he was like, and they're all planning on trolling you the whole night because you're all flirting with all of them. Hold on. Me flirting with all of them? I literally was just... What do guys think that flirting is nowadays? Because I was not flirting with all of them. I was only flirting with the one guy who I actually liked. Yes, I finally take this guy's advice and block all of them. And the one guy who I really liked texted me off Instagram, and I was like, you're just messing with me. Like, that was their whole plan, was just to mess with me and get me into homecoming and troll me the whole night because I was flirting with all of them. And then the one guy who I had a summer fling with, he was like, that's why he was trying to get you to send so bad. Not because he likes you, because he wants to show everyone. I was like, okay, perfect. To this day, I'm still going to their homecoming in 2 weeks. And yeah, and I'm so excited to see them all and slap them across the face.
Get ready with me while I tell you embarrassing things I've done at school, so you can feel better about yourself. Yes, I made a list. If I have a lisp, I have teeth whitening strips in, so we're gonna ignore that. Starting off strong, I fell down the stairs. Not once, not twice, but 3 times in a row. I didn't like face plant, but I like tripped because I thought I could be all nonchalant and cool and like text my friend while I'm walking down the stairs. So I'm typing. My foot slips because I'm wearing Uggs, and I like jump down 2 steps. I'm like, okay, whatever. No one caught that. Kind of nonchalant. I keep on going. I do it again. I'm like, that's so embarrassing. I made it to the end of the stairs. I'm like, wow, that was embarrassing. My shoe falls off, and I fucking trip, and I'm like tripping for a hot minute. I'm like walking and like just like falling as I'm walking. Well, sorry to anyone in the stairwell who had to witness me falling. Next, at lunchtime, I screamed at the top of my lungs and I started sobbing. So, like, a little back information, I'm horrified of bugs. Like, I hate them. I don't like ladybugs and I don't like butterflies, especially. I hate butterflies so much. So, there's a butterfly near me and it's, like, flying near the ground and it fucking scares the hell out of me. So, I start stomping on it so I can kill it. And my friend who loves bugs and loves butterflies screaming, no, no, no. So she picks it up and she starts chasing me with it. I'm running outside all over the back patio. Everyone's staring at me because my friend's chasing me with the butterfly, and I'm literally screaming on the verge of tears, and then she throws it at me. I screamed at the top of my lungs. Yes, I know it's stupid, but I really hate bugs. Like, I hate them. Anyways, I ran to my friend Kayla, and I jumped into her arms, and I shed a tear or two. Love you, Kayla. This next one, I think about almost every single day, and I don't even understand how it happened, but it was genuinely the most embarrassing thing ever. So, for testing, you can be assigned to, like, different rooms, or you can be assigned to the gym. So I was assigned to the gym. So in the gym, they have these like little flimsy desks, and then you have your separate chair. You can't sit on the desk. You can't like lean on the desk. None of that. So I'm there. I'm doing my exam. I'm doing whatever. Other desks have collapsed, but it wasn't loud. It was just like, oh, well, their desk fell. How embarrassing. Anyways, I finished my test. I put my elbow on the desk. My elbow. Does it look heavy? No. I put my elbow on the desk, boom. When I tell you, everyone whipped their heads around. Everyone thought it was a gunshot. Because did my desk collapse on one side and just like fold and close? No. The legs broke off from the table and it all slammed on the ground. And obviously, like, everything that was on my desk, like the 5 pens that they make you bring and the water bottle that I had rolls away, and like my papers fly away too, because why not? And then when your desk breaks or like something happens, they have to move your desk or like move where you're sitting. It's in the rules. I don't know why, but like I was literally done with my test at that point, but they think you're cheating, so they have to move your desk if it breaks. So I have to get up in front of the over 100 kids in this gym, walk all the way to the other side and sit my ass down in a different desk. I literally died of embarrassment, and I was also standing there for 5 minutes before they gave me a new desk because I thought they were going to let me sit in the same desk, so I was just waiting for the guy to fix the desk again. And literally, the guy drops the desk, so it slams again, and then everyone looks again. So I'm just there, standing there so awkwardly. It was so embarrassing, and afterwards, everyone kept on coming up to me and being like, keep your desk up. What happened to your desk? Shut the fuck up. Okay, so this next one goes out to Kaylee. Love you, broski. This is our shared trauma. So we had this girl. We were both in the same language arts class last year, and we had this girl in our class that we had like a friend crush on. Like, we wanted to be friends with this girl so bad. She's literally stunning, and she looks so sweet. She's adorable. Like, whoa, we wanted to be friends with her so bad. And then she's also in our 4th period this year. So we're like, you know what? This is our perfect opportunity. And like, she was sitting alone, so obviously we felt bad and we wanted to like go sit with her or like invite her to come sit with us. So we're like hyping ourselves up for literally like 20 minutes because we're like, what if she turns us down? And we're like, no, she wouldn't. She literally looks so nice. So we're hyping ourselves up to go talk to this girl and like ask her to sit with us or something. So we literally get up in front of the whole entire classroom, walk over to this girl and like start chatting with her. It's not like we came up to her and we're like, can you sit with us? Like, no. We're like talking with her. We're like, oh, you're in Miss Blank's class last year. Like we've talked to her before because she was in our class last year. But we're like, oh, you're in our class. So yeah, do you remember us? Hey, like we're sitting over there. If you ever want to come sit with us, whatever. She literally just like stares at us and just goes, no. We were so shocked. We didn't even like say anything. We just kind of looked at each other, got up and walked away because that was so embarrassing. Like, I get it if we made her uncomfortable, and I get that, but like, oh my god, it was so embarrassing. Like, we just had to make the walk of shame back to our seats. And I guess we're not going to be friends with her because, I don't know. I feel like she thought we were mean. We were laughing that whole period, but just because we're dumb. Like, I hope she didn't think we were laughing at her. This next one is another dedication to my fucking Uggs. That literally, like, ruined my life at school because they're always falling off my feet. But I was walking through the doors, and my school's overpopulated, so, like, everyone's squished and you're just getting like shoved through the doors. Anyways, my shoe comes off. Far away from the door? No. Before the door? No. In the doorway. My Ugg comes off. So I'm there trying to get my shoe back on. I can't. It's getting kicked around. I'm getting pushed. So I have to drop to the floor and pick up my shoe. Mind you, no one in the school gives a fuck. So I'm legit on the floor attempting to pick up my shoe. I'm getting stepped on. Kids don't stop and let me pick up my shoe. No, they're walking on top of me or like stepping over me. Not to mention the amount of times I've tripped in school wearing those Uggs. My number one op, for real. Also, teeth whitening chips are out. Do they look white? Obviously, we saved the best for last is when I face planted in school and broke a whole metal detector. So this is kind of hard to explain, but my school has metal detectors, and so you go through the first set, and if your bag doesn't beep, you can just walk through the first set of metal detectors and get in the school. If your bag beeps, you have to go around and get into the second set of metal detectors. So I'm walking with my friend, and we have a cheer comp or something that day. I don't even remember. Or I had cheer, I don't know. So I have cheer, I'm walking all my cheer bag, and obviously I have like a metal can of hairspray and a whole hair straightener. So if the metal detector goes off, I'm like, okay, I expected it to. I keep on walking, I go through the second one, it beeps, and it's not supposed to beep the second time around. So the lady starts making me take everything out of my bag, and so I take everything out of my bag. She's like, walk through again with just your school bag. So I'm walking through. Then she starts saying something to me as I'm walking through. So I turn around. Do I stop walking to talk to her? No, I keep on walking this way. I trip over a metal detector. These huge things. I trip over it. Fully face plant with my backpack on too. So it's like, my backpack's so heavy, so it's like full force to the ground. My friend described it as my head legit like boing, like bouncing off the ground. And I also knocked over the metal detector, so there's that. And then I had to wait like 10 minutes for her to reset the whole thing because I fucking broke it. Anyways, not a lot of people witnessed that, luckily, but it was still so embarrassing. And I was literally dying laughing, so it was kind of funny. And I scratched my knee. Okay, that's it. I hope you guys feel better about yourselves.
In honor of me blocking my old situationship, here is things that he did to me that I thought was completely normal. At number 1, we have him ditching me at the mall. He invited me to go with him, and we went to a store. I looked down for like a second, and he just got up and left. He then called me like 20 minutes later and asked me if I wanted to go with him to the food court to get some food. And I was like, yeah, sure. And I was there sitting and waiting for him. He got there with his cousin, bought his food, sat down at a separate table, looked at me, nodded, and then started eating. And after that, I told him I had to go because my mom was on her way, and he was like, oh, I wanted to give you a hug goodbye. And I was like, can you just come, like, see me? Like, I'm waiting outside the Apple store. He was like, no, why don't you just come see me? I was like, baby, no, my mom is here. Like, I have to go. He was like, oh, that sucks. Can you come to PacSun? Like, are we so serious right now? And then I texted him, like, later that night, and I was like, hey, that was rude. You can't just ghost me in person. That's not how it works. You invited me here, too. He was like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't know I made you feel that way. And I was like, it's fine. Let's just move on. And then he told me he was going to take me out to lunch the next day, and I was like, okay, fine, that's okay. I said, okay. He said, be ready by lunchtime. I got ready around, like, 11. I was waiting. 12 o'clock, he sends me a snap of him just waking up. Wow. And honestly, I don't want to say anything, so I was just waiting for him to be like, oh, like, what time do you want to go? 30 minutes later, he's fishing with friends. And obviously, my pathetic self was like, oh, it's fine. He's just busy. Like, maybe tomorrow. We didn't hang out that week at all. And I just let it go. I was like, it's fine. Things come up. Things can change. It's fine. There's always the future. He then proceeds to, like, make plans with me multiple times and then forgets. Straight up forgets. Like, we'll be on the phone at night and he'll be like, okay, I'm going to take you out tomorrow. Like, we're going to go do this and we're going to go do that. And I'm like, okay, I'm free. Bet that. In the morning, completely forgets, doesn't ask. And then when I bring it up, I'm like, hey, are we still hanging out? He was like, what do you mean we're hanging out? What? Yeah, maybe I'm just crazy. And then another time, we got into a huge fight, and, like, the night before, and he was like, can we, like, go batting together and, like, talk about it? And I was like, yeah, sure. I'm at the batting cages, by myself, mind you. He never shows up. I was there for 2 hours. Obviously, I got my reps in. I did hitting. I hit myself. He never showed up. And then an hour after I got home, he was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I fell asleep. I feel so horrible. I was like, it's okay. It's fine. And then we made plans to go to a restaurant the next day. He goes to a last-minute sleepover the night before, so he doesn't wake up till 11. And when he wakes up, he texts me, I'm gonna go get breakfast and then I'm gonna go fishing. Let me know when you wanna go. Baby, it's lunchtime. I've been wanting to go. I'm hungry. And I was like, it's fine. I'm gonna go around 2. Is that okay for you? He was like, honestly, I don't know if I have a ride. So, yeah. He texted that to me 2 minutes after I left my house, and I was already at Chili's. I sat there for 30 minutes waiting for my friend to pull up so I didn't look like a loner. Yeah, the lady in the booth next to me had to, like, comfort me and ask me if I was okay because I was in tears. I had gotten stood up, and wow, that's just great. I called him that night, and I was like, hey, that's, like, disrespectful. You can't treat me like that. You're wasting my time. If you don't want this to work out, let me know. It's fine. I'm not gonna be mad. Just, can I go now, please? He was like, no, like, you mean so much to me. Like, I like you so much. And he was like, I love you, and, like, I really mean that. We have only been talking for, like, 4 weeks, if not less, and he already said I love you. So I was like, I'm on the edge. And I was like, okay, it's fine. I'll let it go. And I let it go. And one of the things he said to me while we were, like, talking on that call, he was like, I don't really know if we're compatible because, like, my love language is physical touch, and, like, you're just not into that. And his reason behind this was, he snapped me in the shower once, and I was like, hey, that's not cool. You're in the shower to get clean, not have your phone and snap people in there. Do not snap me in the shower again. And he was like, that kind of, like, upset me. Like, I wasn't even trying to be freaky or anything, blah, blah, blah. Like, babe, are you sure? Because he got upset that I didn't want him snapping me in the shower. And I was gonna completely forget about, like, this whole argument. I was like, it's fine. We're gonna be great. I let it go again. And my friend texted me. She was like, hey, girl, like, do you want me to loyalty test him? Because from what I'm hearing, it's not fine. And I was like, wait, that's a great idea. Why don't you loyalty test him? She texts him. Mind you, she's, like a year older than him. She texts him, and he's, like, responding. And she's like, do you have a girlfriend? Are you talking to anyone right now? Because, like, I think you're so cute. He was like, no, I'm not dating or talking to anyone right now. I think you're cute, too. That really enraged me. That, like, woke me up. I was like, hey, this is not okay. Blocked. I hit the block button. I've never hit the block button faster in my life. And what's funny is I never, like, make exceptions for dudes. Like, whenever, like, the first inconvenience, blocked. You're done. I made so many exceptions for him, and I was like, it's fine. Like, excuses. He's going through stuff at home. Like, I don't want to pressure him too much. That's bullshit. That's genuine bullshit. Because if a guy genuinely likes you, he will, like, make time for you. He will make time for you, and he won't, like, treat you like this. And I didn't realize that after he was texting my friend, who he thought was, like, super into him. She's not. But yeah, that was fun. Oh yeah, and another thing he did was, he was with friends once, and he, like, left me undelivered for 10 hours. I'm looking back at this and it doesn't sound valid, but he was, like, active those 10 hours. He was, like, viewing my story and stuff, like, in those 10 hours, but, like, didn't respond to me. So yeah, clarifying that. And I was like, hey, I'm being ghosted, so I just unadded him on everything. He, like, spammed me after I unadded him, and he was like, why can't I just enjoy life? Like, I'm just enjoying life right now. Like, why do you have to unadd me? Like, it's not even my fault. Like, please, forgive me. Please don't leave me. And I was like, it's okay. It's fine. I get it. You're with friends. That was the dumbest decision I've ever made. He should have stayed unadded. But here we are. And if you've made it this far into the video, you deserve a cookie. Because my love life is a joke. So yeah, this is your sign to, block that situationship.
Get ready with me while I tell you how I went to Texas a week ago and there was a serial killer and I didn't even know. I went to Austin, Texas to go and visit my sister because she lives there, and I posted a TikTok about it. I see a comment, and by this point I'm already in Texas because I posted it when I was maybe like 2 hours away from Texas. It was like, oh, be careful of the serial killer that's in Austin right now. I was like, what do you mean? So naturally, I tell my sister about it, and I'm like, is there a serial killer, like, loose? Like, what is this comment? Like, is this true? My sister is like, yeah, it's called the Rainy Street Ripper. There was 38 bodies found in Lake Bird, and the police is saying that it is a serial killer or could be possible drownings, which, like, how do you not know which one it is, you know? So I was just like, okay. And I want to say, like, a couple days into the trip, we ended up going to a water park. So we're at this water park, like, all day, and it's me and my boyfriend, my 2 sisters, their husbands, and their kids. I want to say it gets to, like, 6:30 maybe, and the kids and my sisters are ready to go home. So it's a water park, and then like there's a bunch of games and stuff, and you can walk down to the lake. It's not Lake Bird, it's Lake Travis, but you can walk down to the lake, and there's a dock, and you can swim and everything. So me and my boyfriend were like, oh, wouldn't it be fun to stay back a little bit and then Uber home to watch the sunset on the dock. At this point, it's like 7 o'clock, and we say bye to my family. We're going over there to sleep later because we're staying at my sister's. So we swim in the lake for a little bit, and it was really fun. And then it gets to like 8:30, and you know, the sun is starting to set and everything. I'm kind of getting like scared a little bit, and I'm like, okay, like how long does an Uber take? Because we've never taken an Uber before, and I was like, okay, like let's just check it and make sure. My boyfriend doesn't even have the Uber app, so we have to download that. We accidentally downloaded the wrong one. We downloaded Uber Eats. Yeah, trying to get an Uber ride. So when we figured it out, it was like 9:20, and it's like dark. Like, I don't know what happened. The sunset went like by like that. It was completely like pitch black, and nobody is at this water park, so we have to walk. So here's the dock, the water park's up here. We have to walk around like that, and we're walking and we're fine, right? We're sitting at the front entrance of the water park, and we see a van and a guy driving, and he drives past us going 20 miles an hour, and we don't really think anything of it because there's not a bunch, but there was like 15 cars that had passed us by this time. We're sitting there waiting for our Uber. That also took a while. So I don't even know what time it was. It was really dark, and my phone had died. My boyfriend's phone was also about to die, so that was really not fun. As we're waiting for our Uber, the same white van passes us again, and I'm like, hey, like that van already passed us. And when they drove past us, they were like staring us down. Like, him and my boyfriend literally had like a stare down. It was actually crazy, and I was so afraid and scared. And he drives, and I watch this van pull into a driveway. I got so caught up in my story, I forgot to put this on before my concealer. But anyways, back to the story. This van pulls into the driveway, like down the road a little bit, and reverses and comes back towards us. As it's like pulling into the driveway, I tell my boyfriend, I'm like, let's go hide, because I'm not dying today, and I'm not getting kidnapped, and you're not gonna get shot and then leave me to get kidnapped. And no, that's not happening today. I'm from the country, and I'm not about it. Like, I don't do like the city by myself, especially with just two people. Like, no. And I take off my shoes because I'm wearing slides, and if I need to run, I'm sprinting. We're at the front entrance of the water park, so there's this like ramp, and I'm like, come on, we're gonna go lay on the ramp and hide behind these plants. So I am laying down on this ramp, and so is he, and he's a big guy. He's like 6'4". I'm like not that afraid, but I'm still afraid because like, what if this guy has a gun? Like I don't know what's gonna happen. So I'm just trying to be the safest I can possible. I see this guy reverse and pull back to where we were going like 5 miles an hour. I'm getting out of breath talking about this because it like actually scared me so bad. And like, he can see us on this ramp, I'm pretty sure, because it was not like steep, it was like that, and we were like crouching down, and I was actually so afraid. And we watch, and we get up because the van passed. We walk a little bit outward. We see him pull in right next to the water park, and then these red lights start flashing. So I don't know if it was like hazards or I don't know what else on a car, but we see these red lights start flashing, and I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna get out of this van and come and kill us. Like, what do we do? In my head, I'm like, is this the serial killer coming to kill us? Like, it was a Mexican man, I think, and I know people say like the cartel and stuff like that because it's close to the border, and I was deadass like, oh my god, like this is where I'm gonna get sex trafficked. Like, everything in me was like, I need to run. Like, I ran down the street, and my boyfriend's like, Kaylee, just come back, like it's gonna be okay, like our Uber is 1 minute away. And I'm like, okay, like I'm like freaking out because I'm like, I do not want to die today or tonight, and our Uber's 1 minute away. Our Uber finally gets there.
Thank God. He was literally a saint. I loved him. We had never taken an Uber before, keep in mind, and so we tell him about what happened. He's like, that's actually scary. And I'm like, I know. Like, and we have never been here before. Like, this is maybe our, like, second day here, and I can't believe that even happened. We got home and we told my family what happened. Keep in mind, my phone was dead, so they were all calling me, like, where are you, like, freaking out. Good thing we made it home. I'm back in Iowa. And don't stay out after dark if you don't know where you are and if it's not a big crowd of people. I know I should have thought smarter, but like it was literally like a kid water park, so I didn't really think anything of it. But I'm running out of time, but thanks for listening to my story. Bye.
Get ready with me while I tell you guys why my boyfriend broke up with me. So for starters, me and my boyfriend have been together a year and a half, and we're like medium distance. We're like 2.5 hours apart while we're in college, and we only got together this summer before we left for college. So it's pretty much just been like medium distance the whole time, except for the few breaks that we get in between. So basically over the summer, I felt like my boyfriend was like way more distant than he normally was. So like one of the things I always liked about our relationship is our friend groups were so intertwined. So like all hangouts, everything like that, we did together all throughout like the first summer we got together. Every break we were back. Like every time we hung out, it was with all of our friends, his friends, my friends, like all of us. Look at this little wheel I have for all my brushes. Hello, she's so cute. But over this past summer, he was just like super distant, like not wanting to invite me to. He has like a second property. His family has like a second property, and they always go for the 4th of July. And for like the year, like before the summer, he had been saying like, I'm gonna invite you. I want you to be there. Like I want you to see my farm, like all of that. And then it happened, and he was like, I don't know if we're gonna have enough seats. Well, I talked to his mother, and I said, are you guys gonna have enough seats like on your like ATVs, things like that? And she was like, yeah, like I don't know what he's talking about. Like of course you can come. Now mind you too, like I was going back and forth in my head, like if he doesn't want me there, like I'm not gonna go. Like I don't want to intrude for no reason. Like clearly, you know, maybe he just wants to like make it a fun thing, whatever. But I ended up going, and I had a lot of fun, and it didn't feel like anything was wrong. Like once I was there, I met a bunch more of his family and friends and things like that, and it wasn't that big of an issue. Like over the rest of the summer, he just got really distant, like not wanting to talk to me about things. Every argument we got in, like it was flipped around on me, and I was told like I was the problem and that I needed to change. So I would do what any person does and say, okay, I'm gonna change. And I was actually implementing that really well, I thought, into my life, like being more gentle when I spoke and like making sure I think about like what I'm saying and whatever. And I like implemented a bunch of that shit into my life, like all of this stuff. Like I was really taking into consideration because we always had such an open relationship like that for like the first 8 months of our relationship. It was perfect. Like we matched each other perfectly. Our personalities matched. We're both kind of like over the top, like angry sometimes. So like we kind of matched in that sense of like, okay, we need to chill, but like we understand each other type of a thing. And so I always implemented that, but it just continued. Like it just was flipping back on me and back on me and back on me. And I was just over it. Now we're skipping back into school. So it is September now. All of that happened in August where he's kind of being distant, not wanting to talk about things anymore, blaming everything on me, whatever. But he's still being like his like goofy, like silly self. He bought me his my birthday gifts, like all of that. Like everything felt fine. So I didn't really like have any issues. And then while he was at school, he started not answering me when he would go out to a bar, or like the other night he would always have an excuse for it. Oh well, this happened to my friend, like I can't answer, like I'm sorry, whatever. Or he'd be like, oh I just put my phone down, like I can't, like I'm sorry, like I was so drunk, I had this many beers, like I didn't even think about it, or you know, I was doing this and we walked back and I didn't think you'd care, like that type of thing where it was just like it wasn't often, but it happened like 2 or 3 times and I was just over it. I texted him and I was like, what is going on? Like why are you being distant? Whatever. Now skipping forward a little bit, he had to go home because his college is like, in order to get into the town from his college, you have to get on the highway, and this is like a pretty big fucking highway. And one time he was driving back, and some guy hit a tire that flipped over that guy's car, hit the front of his car, and it dented like his bumper. So he took his car home to get a rental car, and that was at the beginning of September. Now mind you, he's 3.5 hours from our hometown. Like we went to the same high school, whatever. So he's 3.5 hours from our hometown. He passes by my college to get home. Well, we didn't like our schedules didn't align the first time he went home to get the rental car, but when he was going back to get his car and coming back to his school with his actual car, our schedules aligned. Like he could have stayed the night. It was always a thing that like on the weekdays if we had extra time, like and our classes weren't super early, he would stay the night. Like it wasn't that big a deal. So I was kept asking him, like my big thing is I don't want my hopes up. If I get my hopes up, like I will not be able to like think about anything else, especially if plans change. Like I will just be upset. So I was like, don't get my hopes up. If you're only gonna come and stay for a couple hours or like an hour or two and then go back to your school that night, I want to know. Like I want to know. Don't tell me anything different. He kept saying, well maybe I don't know yet. Like we'll see. So in my head, I'm like, oh damn, like he's actually gonna stay the night. Like this is great. I haven't been able to see him at my school in a while. Like whatever. No. Day up does exactly what I thought he was gonna do. Driving past my school, says, oh no, I'm actually staying a couple of hours. Like I can't. I'm gonna go back to my school tonight. Like whatever. So now I'm really upset. I am sobbing, like fuming in my car. I'm like, this was the one thing I told you don't do to me. Like my hopes are up. Now I'm just gonna be sad. I told him like, just go back to your school. Like leave me alone. Like whatever. Like I don't want to have you here tonight because I know I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna ruin the hangout. Now this is where I say my emotional regulation needs to kind of control itself a little bit because I fully kind of went off. Like everything, I wasn't being mean, but everything that like I was upset about, I fully blew up on him. I was like, you've been doing this at the bars, you haven't been answering my texts, and you keep forgetting to say goodnight, and you keep this, and like blew everything up. And so he's like, I'm coming over, we're gonna talk about it. So he comes over, and this is kind of where I start seeing like actual changes. Now, mind you, I'm waiting an hour for him to, that was a lot. I'm waiting an hour for him to drive to my school. So I'm just sitting here sobbing, like talking to my friend, like my roommate about it. Like, what do I say? Like, what do I do? Like, I'm obviously super upset about this. Like, but I do feel like all of this is true and I just want to talk to him. And it feels like he's distant, whatever. Like, I was just really scared that like something was off with him. And he gets there and I'm sobbing when he comes in. And, oh my God, I fucking can't. So he comes in and he sits down on my bed and is trying to act normal, like trying to talk about other stuff. And I don't want to. I want to talk about what the fuck I was upset about. And he basically tells me that I'm trying to manipulate him into staying because I'm crying. And I said, I don't want you to stay. Like, I don't want this to make like a whole big thing. Like, if you feel that like you're not gonna be able to wake up for your classes tomorrow or whatever and drive back, like, then that's fine. But like then don't stay, but I'm obviously gonna cry because I'm upset about everything. Like I feel like you're distant, whatever. And he basically told me that I was selfish for not thinking about him and his academics and having to wake up early. Mind you, I stayed at his school Sunday night into Monday that same damn week, and I woke up at 7:30 and drove back for my 10 a.m. class. And I'm in season. He's not even in season for his sport, and he has a broken collarbone. So he's not practicing in fall ball. He's not in season, and we have the same amount of classes. And he doesn't work. I work, and I had to do all of that on Monday. I drove, whatever. So I basically just say, okay, like whatever, he goes back to his school. I'm just sobbing the rest of the night, and I write him a 5-page note, because that's what I have to do. I have to write things out before I can like fully talk about my feelings. And I told him the next day, I said, I want to talk to you because this is not going to be off of my mind. So we get on the phone the next night, and he is just absolutely like checked out. Like, I read him the full page note. He said, I don't know what you want me to say. And I said, just say what you're thinking. Like, if you have any doubts about our relationship, like, please just let me know, because I can't be with someone that has like doubts about our relationship. But I think like we're so perfect together. Like, we can work shit out. Like, I think we'll be fine. I think we just need to go back to what we were doing last year, like being actually like confident in one another and like happy with one another. So he kind of stops and he drops this bomb, and it's just like, well, I went home and talked with my parents, and I just don't think our futures align, and we just have different things we want. Now he's bringing up arguments I had with my dad, you know, saying because I wanted 3 dogs instead of 2, like he wanted, or because I might have to move for my job, which I don't even know, by the way. Like, I don't know what job I want. That is completely out of left field. Like, bringing up shit that I told him months ago that he just like locked in his back fucking pocket. He brought up crazy behavior. Anyways, come back for part 2, because it actually just gets crazier and he just gets meaner. So
hi guys, here's some things that my exes did and I still stayed. There's no shade to any of them. I just find it funny now. First, this one guy lied to me and said that he has to go to sleep at 8 p.m. because his coach has like sleep trackers for them. And it turns out that he wasn't actually going to sleep. He would really just act like he was asleep, and he would go off with other girls and hang out with them and do who knows what with them. Next is one of my exes. I thought this was blush. Ooh. One of my exes, he wouldn't let me wear my brother's hoodies. Like, he thought it was bad for me to be wearing another guy's hoodies, even though it was my own brother. And he threatened to break up with me when I did that. And I would still wear them anyways, because that's just weird, you know? Next is I was going through my ex's phone because he was going through my Snapchat. So then I just like took a look at his Snapchat, and he was snapping this girl. And then whenever I confronted him about it, he said that it was an accident and that he didn't even know that he was snapping her, even though it had been days. One of my exes thought that I needed to go to the gym. Like, he didn't say I was fat, but he told me that I needed to go to the gym, and he would make me work out in my grandma's burning hot garage in the summer so that I could have the body that he wanted me to have. And he would also show me like Instagram models, and he would be like, I want you to look like this, and like he would use them as like inspo for like me to work out to look like them. One of my exes literally made me cry on my birthday because he was texting another girl and lying about it. And yeah, that was not fun. Also, one of my exes almost broke up with me because this guy was texting me asking me for the homework answers because he was in the same class as me. He was just super controlling. Like, I could not text or talk to or sit next to any boy at school. It was so extra. And then I found out that he was doing all of those things. So he was projecting. My ex literally made me cry in the club in front of everyone because he was being so mean to me. Like, I literally could not believe it. Even like the friends that I was with, they were like, what is wrong with him? But yeah, let me know if y'all want a part 2 because I probably have way more stories to tell. Bye guys.
Story time about the time I walked in on him with another girl and literally took a video of it. This had happened freshman year. I'm a senior now, and I'm in a very healthy relationship now. So like I said, this was 3 years ago, and it was this guy's birthday. And for his birthday, he had a bunch of people from his high school right down the road come to his apartment and like pregame with us before we went to another party. Also, my best friend was in town, so she was visiting. And for his birthday, I had got him this chain. Keep this in your mind. So the night rolls around, and we're all at his apartment pre-gaming, and all of his like high school friends show up. First red flag is that literally nobody said hi. Keep in mind, these people are still in high school. Second red flag is when we were playing like beer pong, I literally had slipped and like fell on my back. And one of the girls was like, blah, 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 get your girl, talking about me. And he did not help me off the ground. 2 of his other friends helped me off the ground. And we were like laughing about it, but like,
what do you mean, well, get your girl? Like, and he didn't even help me up. The third red flag is that when me and all my friends were, like, in the living room, him and all these, like, high school girls were in his room taking shots out of, like, our alcohol bottles. So we were like, no, absolutely not. And we put our alcohol bottles in the closet. Keep that in mind, too. So the pregame's about over, and we walk, like, a neighborhood over to this, like, party that this guy was having. And there was, like, a ton of us, and we're all walking, and I noticed, like, him and this another girl just, like, talking, like, behind everybody. They're, like, way back. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna think anything of it because it's his high school friends. He probably hasn't seen them in a while, and why would I need to overthink? So we're in this party, and there's, like, a downstairs and an upstairs. And one of my friends was like, Megan, I just saw go upstairs with this girl, like, do you want me to go check on them? Like, that was, like, 10 minutes ago. And I was like, sure, like, I don't care. And so she, like, went up there, and she came back down, and she was like, he had his arm around her. And I was like, you know what, like, I don't care. I really don't care. So the night was getting pretty late, and I remember he had, like, Snapchatted me or something. It was like, hey, like, we're all going back to my apartment. Like, we're just, like, tired or whatever. And then time rolls around, and it's, like, actually time to, like, go, you know? So we walk back to his apartment, and it's, like, me and, like, 4 other of my girlfriends. And I remember he, like, wasn't answering my Snapchat, so I was like, I feel like we're, like, about to walk in on something. Like, I just have, like, a gut feeling something's not right. When we get back to his apartment, we open, like, his, like, main door to his apartment, and these girls just, like, start, like, giggling. They're like, and they're like, oh, gosh. And I, like, turn my head, and in my head, I'm like, oh, gosh, what? Then, like, me and my 4 girlfriends, like, go over to his, like, his room door, and it's locked. So then my friend Tatum's whispering, and she's like, Megan, like, I'm gonna knock. Pretend you're not here. Like, don't say anything. So she knocks, and she's like, blah, 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 like, his name. She was like, I'm just here to get my alcohol. Like, I'm going back to Megan's dorm. And he's like, 1 second. Now it's been, like, 2 minutes, and he still's not open the door. And she's like, open up, like, banging on it and yelling at him. And he's like, hold on, and, like, opens it. And this is where I, like, blacked out. Like, barely remember what went down. We walk in, and Tatum opens the closet to get her alcohol off the top shelf. And what do we see? A little rat hiding in the closet. And my first instinct, I don't know, I've never walked in on something like that. My first instinct was to literally take a video. So I pulled my phone out of my back pocket. I opened Snapchat, and I took a video. I took a video of her hiding in the closet, and then I took a video of him, like, laying on his bed. And then I, like, ran out. And I ran into his roommate's room, and I was just, like, crying because I was like, what the heck did I just walk into? And I literally hear my best friend in the other room, like, screaming at him. And then in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, what about the chain? I just got him today. I was like, Tatum, please go get it from me. I'm, like, returning it. So she literally goes back in his room and is like, give me the chain. And he's like, what chain? And this, like, high school girl is still just, like, sitting in his room, and he's like, what chain? Like, pretending I didn't get him a chain that morning. And she was like, the one on your neck. And he's, like, so freaked out and scared, he's shaking. He can't get it off. So he goes, Tatum, can you help me get it off? So then I run to my other guy friend's apartment where, like, everybody would hang out at. And I did not go back to my dorm because I had my best friend there. My brother was in town. My brother's friend was in town. And then my roommate, obviously, in a little dorm. So I was like, I'm just going to sleep on my friend's couch and, like, go back to my dorm in the morning. And then I woke up on their couch the next morning to someone standing over me while I'm sleeping going, Megan, Megan. And I wake up and it's him, and I was like, what are you doing in here? And I was like, don't talk to me, don't talk to me. And he was like, this is what he says. Can I get you Andy's and we can talk it out? Sir, it is 9 in the morning. We're going to go to Andy's and you're going to talk about how I just walked in on you with another girl? No. So yeah, that is, like, the story of the time I walked in on him with another girl and took a video of it. And oh my gosh, he got like messed up on campus by all my friends. My friends would roll the windows down and like scream at him, and he'd be like talking to like other girls on campus or as like friends, and they'd be like, screw you, like screaming at him through the window. Or like my whole sorority like posted on Yik Yak or something. I can't really remember. I have a bunch of screenshots, but yeah, so that's literally the time I took a video of it. Obviously, it doesn't faze me anymore because I'm in a new relationship at this point. It's hilarious, like so funny, and I had to share it because I want y'all to hear. Should I post the video?